Yeah. Barclay was the one that had the holodeck edition.
He was addicted to the holodeck, and he had all the people on the ship built into it, and he was like, I guess married or engaged or having a relationship with Troy, and everyone's like weirded out and creeped out that like they're part of his story.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Riker was like a little pansy type guy.
Yes. I'm gonna, since we were just talking about it earlier, I'm gonna go with Weird Jazz Lounge episode.
Yeah,
I like Weird Jazz episode.
I loved it. It was so good.
That was a good one because that was like halfway through the first season.
Yeah.
When Riker hadn't really used the holodeck at all.
Exactly. They're still kind of filling things out.
Yeah. He was kind of filling things out. And then those weird aliens came in and turned the girl Minuet into a real living type thing, even though she was still a hologram. And he started to get addicted to it too. And then he got stuck in there.
Yes.
So let's talk about tonight's episode, though.
Oh, buddy, there's so much. There's actually more to process, I think, this week than there was last week, which is saying something. Can I just first preface? The original Star Trek is back in such a way that I'm so, so at this point...
I'm so excited to get finger guns.
we have 3 episodes now that are episodic in nature, and that makes me super happy because I was worried that we were going to get so bogged down in like the Klingon War and the Spore Drive and all this other crap that we weren't going to have time to have classic Star Trek. But it looks like they're sitting there and going, okay, we're going to donate like 5-10 minutes to like the actual story of the Klingons, and then the rest goes to Trek stuff, Trek science.
Right. It's almost like typical shows that have this, like if you go back to like something like Chuck, a few years ago, the entire episode was like a one-off, like, oh, we gotta go catch this bad guy, we gotta go catch that bad guy, and then the last 5 or 10 minutes, or like random parts throughout the episode were about the season-long arc and what was going on.
Chuck. Chuck was cool.
I never got into Chuck, but I like a lot of crime procedural dramas.
Right.
So this is very much like, all right, we have our Monster of the Week or Crime of the Week episode.
Yeah.
And we've solved our case. Now I'm gonna give you 10 minutes of
one of my favorite shows, sci-fi in nature, Fringe. Like, did you?
Yes.
I didn't get to catch Fringe.
So Fringe started. It's really interesting because the first couple of seasons were all Monster of the Week. It was just nothing came together. The only linking factor was Massive Dynamics, which was this big company that did like all the scientific research. But then, as we got into like season 3, it shifted gears completely from this Monster of the Week thing to a completely like serialized.
See, that kind of reminds me of like a Eureka-ish kind of feel to it.
Sort of, yeah.
Okay, so dealing with the classicness of Star Trek, we got to see, kind of the first randomity of science, which is cool, and we get a lot of drops too from old school series.
Yes, there are lots of shout outs tonight.
Yeah, but before we really get into tonight's episode, though, let's address some of our critics from last week.
Oh,
or not even critics. I don't want to say critics.
There's no tone on the internet.
Yeah.
I'm going to assume they were all friendly in nature.
Yeah, just because I want to talk about some of that stuff, just because some of it may relate to some of the things that we're bringing up tonight. So,
all right, I want to start with the easiest guy and then kind of go from there. I want to talk about FML Laser. All right, he's got a couple of things here. He asked if we're all jazzed up about interspecies erotica.
Yes!
Oh,
clearly!
That's a Clerks reference, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Clerks 2.
Clerks 2,
Clerks
buddy.
2.
Yeah, no, interspecies erotica. I mean, would we be Trekkies if we weren't into interspecies erotica? Come on. Are we that basic here?
What am I going to write my Trek fan fiction about? Clearly.
It's all about Troy. So, other than that, he says, Bad Lorca and Worse Lorca, and talking about the mirror universe, which we might actually get to see. We'll talk about that a little later on. And then he was talking about battles, which I'll go into another comment instead. But and then he has a Event Horizon theory about the spores, which opens up the gates to hell accidentally. Which, hey, I would be so down to see that episode.
I mean, we know something bad is going to happen.
There's no way they can keep the spores around and it not be bad.
Right, because like I'm off the comments for just a second. I'm in like 7 different Star Trek fan groups on Facebook.
Nerd.
You would.
And in all these groups, so like this is like almost all I see on Facebook now is like all these groups that I'm in for like our show. So it's like a lot of Power Ranger stuff, a lot of Star Trek stuff, a lot of like just like all these things, and then every once in a while, someone being passive aggressive. But
on the internet?
No.
Right?
What?
But in all of the Star Trek groups, what's going on right now is a lot of people are bitching about canon and technology.
Yeah.
But
in the show, because it seems like the technology is further ahead than it was in the original series, and that a lot of it is breaking canon, and it's like, oh, well, in order for this to have happened in Star Trek, the original series, this shouldn't have happened.
I don't think it's breaking canon per se, but I do have questions.
Right. Well, I mean, obviously, storyline issues need to be worked out so that it catches up with where things
where things are with Enterprise.
And as far as, like, the original series, like, that show was made in the 1960s. Okay.
We didn't know as much about science back then.
You can put as much we're putting as much canon, I feel like, as humanly possible. I know and I'll say, I was the first one to go, this is breaking canon. I was. But the more I watch, the more I realize there are points where you just kind of have to, you know?
Yeah.
And...
Yeah, well, see, I'm not as concerned with the technology part of that, because... It's right here, my cell phone. This has more technology in it than any of those like little handheld things that they gave to Kirk.
Funny thing, this phone has more than the original space shuttle. Like, that's amazing.
So, not relating it to Star Trek, but like I'm a huge Jurassic Park fan, and if you just go back from 1995 when the first one came out to the one that came out a couple of years ago, we have learned so much more about DNA sequencing to where like you completely have to kind of disregard the first movie because you realize the science in the first movie was so bad.
They could use CRISPR right now to take out all the bad stuff in the DNA. Problem solved. Jurassic Park can't happen.
So technology-wise, I'm not so much concerned about it because these things have to change.
Right.
Yeah.
But canon-wise, like in tonight's episode, for example, we have the holographic battle simulator. Like they're
the first hollow deck, basically.
Nice.
Right.
Well, it's more danger room.
So I mean, obviously it looked smaller than like the holodeck on Next Generation is, where in the first episode of TNG they were talking about how the holodeck was a brand new technology. So that kind of stuff, like, we have to figure out how and where that's going to fit in.
Don Juan just actually commented a really great point, is that the ship is called Discovery, and it is a science vessel. So it makes sense that they would have tech that's being tested there that before anybody else gets it.
I completely agree. It's like I said, in all these groups, there's like 5 posts a day saying, this technology is way beyond what they had in the original series. I don't give a shit.
And the thing is, more importantly, of course they're going to. Yeah. Like, the Discovery, like, more as I hear more about, you know, people saying it's a Discovery ship, it's a science vessel, they're not going to have, like, you know, different things on other vessels, but at the same time, it's also the most important vessel. So I do kind of feel a little bit of a disconnect there. I do understand kind of the issue.
Right,
there.
like
how can you be the best, but also not the strongest? I don't.
Well,
going
into Next Generation, the Enterprise D was the flagship of
the Constitution
of the Federation. So that was their ship that had all the newest gadgets, all the newest toys, everything there was brand new. We're not in the Next Generation. We're in pre the original series, after Enterprise. So it's not necessarily a problem that their flagship is a science vessel that has all the stuff that they're testing on it, because they're still in the early days of the Federation.
Yeah.
That makes sense. I can bite onto that. Especially, but then again, they're also in war, and they've been in war, and they're always, we're in war. Like, why is the biggest thing in the war a science vessel? Like,
because it's got the best technology.
Right, but at the
war with the best weapons.
This war has only been going on for 6 months.
Yeah.
So the Discovery is probably a lot more than 6 months old.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's been around for longer than I'm assuming at least that's been around longer than the war has. And now because of the technology that's on it. Sorry, comments.
Good job, Boy Blue. You broke us.
Sorry, I just.
That actually explains what happened to the Klingons.
Yeah.
Cancer.
Yeah.
Cancer.
So for those of you guys who can't see the comments that are watching this after we're live, Boy Blue in the chat said all anachronistic tech gives you cancer and won't be fixed until Next Generation.
I mean, so far
it's not a bad theory.
Not a bad theory.
Yeah.
That's how they write it out of continuity.
Right.
So
my thought was in like the very last episode of the show, like everything just blows up. All those blueprints for it, all the technology, everything blows up. They have it no more.
Right. Well, I mean, a good going theory right now is that the call letters or the call numbers of the ship are 1031. Mm-hmm. So the Discovery might be either the beginning of Section 31, or it might be the reason that Section 31 comes into existence. And everything is then classified, and no one knows about any of that stuff. Yeah. Kind of like, was it the Omega particle that only a few people know about?
The yeah, no, I was looking at last week's comments because we're still working on this.
Okay, cool. That's where we were.
Had a lot of people not complaining, but kindly reminding us that because it is a science vessel, like we're kind of too hung up on the numbers, to a certain extent, and I would say that we're right. We might be hanging up too much on the numbers, especially because you have these big giant labs where they need to do stuff, and maybe there might even be. And I know I have an issue with the circular disc turning around, making gravity, basically. Maybe there's some gravity tech maybe there's some gravity tech I don't know about that are in those things. So,
well, we don't even really know why those are there. I mean, obviously they're part of the spore drive, but I don't think they're gravity, because that's like the 2001 centrifugal force thing, and that's not what that's doing. Yes. So I don't know.
I think it just looked cool. Honestly, I think they just put it there because it looked cool.
Well, I know someone in the comments last week said that the design of the ship was based off of not a prototype, but a drawing from
built
someone
around the spore drive.
No. That this ship is based off of a design from someone who was designing ships for earlier series. So this ship.
I think I did read that too.
In our reality.
It's based off of a different design.
Right. It's based off of a design that was created for a different show.
Yeah.
So that's why it looks the way it does.
Just want to ink this in before we start. Ryan, we are at a comic book store. We are at the Comic Bug in Manhattan Beach. It's a great place to be. Anyway, continuing on.
One of my favorites.
I want to start a little light tonight. I want to talk about plain T-shirts.
I liked that shirt.
So did I, because this is something that we all noticed. They were wearing just regular like Under Armour type T-shirts that said disco on them.
And had a little Starfleet logo on the sleeve.
Yes.
Yeah. They weren't like super futuristic, skin tight polyester clothing. It was just, it's what people would wear.
And also the fangirl in me and the person who works in nerd marketing really hopes that becomes a T-shirt.
If it is,
I hope that's of course I will. Yeah.
So the thing is, I'm wondering if discos, maybe they're trying to do a bad pun, disc. Oh
Jesus! Get out of here, Dad! Get out of here, Dad!
That's I'm the one that makes bad puns.
Yeah, no, we're done here.
That's my job.
I just hope that it actually wasn't about the ship and it was a music genre call out, disco.
Disco. But yeah, no, there's a lot of little things that we kind of caught on to tonight, like the disco thing. We finally get to see a little bit of a holodeck or a precursor to a holodeck.
Did they give it a name? I missed.
No, they did not give it a name because you don't realize it's a simulation until the end, basically, till they end it.
Right. Okay. So also just kind of an out there side comment for you guys who are watching. We watch the show basically the same time you do. So it comes out at 5:30 for us on the West Coast. We watch it as soon as it drops, then we come here. So there are things that we're going to miss because we also talk through the episode while we're watching it. Because we'll see something and be like, oh man, that's really cool. And we're like, wait, what did they say? So
we get caught up.
If we miss something, I apologize. It's going to happen.
Josh looks different because he's not wearing a hat.
He took a shower.
Today. Yeah. Both those things. Also,
shave the beard a little bit too.
I too shaved my beard this morning.
So
I didn't even notice.
We get a little more of the new picked up guy, Ash Tyler.
Ash Tyler, he is now just randomly the security officer.
Right, now I don't know if he was a security officer. I missed this last week. I don't know if he was a security officer previously. Or if he was just a
lieutenant.
He was lieutenant, I believe. I believe they calling him lieutenant, but I don't know.
Was he? I mean, you could be a lieutenant and on the security detail. Like Lieutenant Worf was security.
Not listed.
Here's the thing. I find it very strange where it's like, I just picked up a random stranger in a prison. Let's make you security officer.
Well, he got 34 kills in the simulation.
That is no.
So and
that's a nice number of kills.
He also just gave mutineer Michael Burnham field command.
Yeah, so, right. Lorca just does what he wants to.
Again,
like field commission. Not field command. Field commission.
He does have a no give fucks personality, but
no give fucks.
The thing is, this guy. As far as I can tell, he lied. He lied a lot in the very beginning. He was like, "Oh, I'm from Seattle," and
that's where he's from. He was on Penny Dreadful. Sorry, it was bugging me the whole episode. Okay. I couldn't remember where I recognized him from. He's from Penny Dreadful.
That's okay. I also just realized that the guy who plays the doctor,
the lady doctor.
No, not Stamets? The lady doctor. Not Stamets, but his boyfriend.
Oh yeah.
I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but he was in a really shitty movie from about 15 years ago called Supernova.
He totally was in Supernova.
Yeah.
I like that movie. I was shitty though. I was shitty.
Bad, especially his character.
So we have this character. He's lied a bunch of times.
He's bent truths.
So let's talk about that for a minute though, because there are theories that he is a Klingon undercover spy.
Mm-hmm. I can't believe it yet. The reason I can't really believe it yet, it's like we know so little about him, and that theory is based on very loose ends that I can't really grab onto. I can't believe it. I do think that there's more to his story, but I don't think he's a Klingon spy.
I don't either. Like, I mean, it's possible that maybe he was brainwashed.
That is possible, or maybe he actually is low-key in love with Klingon female rapist, who might not actually be.
What's that? A Nightingale syndrome?
Okay, sorry.
Yeah. Or not Nightingale syndrome.
Stockholm.
Yeah. Sorry, I got caught up trying to speed read this. Something that gives traction to this theory is that there's the Klingon Voq.
Yeah.
The actor who plays him basically doesn't exist.
What do you mean?
There's an actor listed, Javad Iqbal.
Okay.
I could be saying that completely incorrectly. There's a theory that he just doesn't exist because there's basically nothing on his IMDb page, no other credits, and so he hasn't done any promo for the show at all. And so basically, one of the things that gives credence to this theory is that they made up an actor to play Voq, and it will be revealed that Voq and Tyler are the same character / person.
You sexy cyber sleuths out there. Jesus, I would have never.
I don't know if I buy it.
Have we looked this guy up? Here, let me.
Well, it's not so much.
You guys talk. I'll search.
The thing is, do I believe that people would go to such lengths to protect a twist?
Oh yes. God yes. I definitely believe they would.
I think Game of Thrones is making like 3 different endings to protect their shit.
Yeah, exactly. And they filmed a bunch of fake stuff for the last season.
Yeah, I could.
So I totally buy that could be possible.
Yeah.
I mean, the Verge. The website The Verge is jumping on this.
I think that's where I just read it.
So it does sound like there might be a little bit of traction. I would be surprised.
I would be surprised.
Wait. Here,
and not just because I like
Shahzad Latif, who's the
actor who plays
Tyler. He responded to that theory here. Let's see. When we asked Latif whether he's heard that fans are speculating about whether Iqbal is a real actor or not, he responds, "Well, yeah. If you check IMDb, he's an actor on Star Trek Discovery."
So that is a good misdirection,
right? So I mean, that's an answer.
Yeah, it's an answer. It's a good misdirection. But, it's not a lie.
Needless to say. Okay.
The way that I saw his character tonight is I really saw them setting up him as a foil for Burnham because they have very similar backgrounds.
Right.
For their childhood, their parent, tragic parent death, which how come no heroes get to have parents? I mean, we can move that discussion to something later.
That's a Marvel discussion.
Yeah, right? That's a Marvel DC discussion. But, I mean, they both don't have parents. They both survived these really weird things with their previous ships. Now they're both getting conscribed by Lorca in these odd situations. And their personalities are similar but different enough to have a really good foil thing going on.
You know what makes me feel great about it?
What?
He makes Tilly thirsty.
He is good looking.
Thirsty.
But you know what? The very last scene, and I was going to mention this as we went through the episode, but since you brought it up, there was like a flirtation there between him and Burnham, and I really hope they don't go there.
He's going to be the new Riker.
Nah,
it's going to
man.
happen. The Riker maneuver will live.
so I'm going to like full on stalker mode here.
Yeah.
On Facebook.
Oh my God.
Javad Iqbal is a real person.
There's 3 of them. there are 3 people named Javid Iqbal on Facebook. None of them have pictures of themselves, though, except for the first one, whose name is also Buttfart McGeezax from Chicago, Illinois, whose profile picture is of Ash and Voq next to each other.
Oh wow! So that's definitely not a real person.
So this is a fake
Butt
profile
sex
here.
McEzix. I just remember when we were younger, like before cell phones, we used to give out fake names at clubs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. No, Javad Iqbal is my new club name.
Or what was it? The fake number hotline.
Yeah.
The number that you would give people, be like, yeah,
the rejection hotline.
The rejection hotline. Yeah.
That girl that you were talking to did not actually want to give you her phone number. We're sorry.
All right, let's keep
going. We're moving a little bit on here. So I'm going to get to a little bit of the bread and butter for tonight. Let's talk about Vulcans. Vulcans.
I was so happy to have a Vulcan-centric episode because I love the Vulcans.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is also a period of time where we don't really know a lot about the internal workings of
Vulcan culture,
Vulcan culture. Like, I mean, we saw a bit of it on Enterprise, but not really a whole lot.
Yeah,
and this kind of is giving us an insight into how
they all just seem like assholes, man. It's great.
Well, I mean, they've got no emotions.
They have no emotions. Yeah,
well, that's not entirely true.
Well, they repress their emotions.
Yeah,
yeah. Okay.
They prioritize their logic.
If you have a Vulcan suicide bomber going live long and prosper. So, it is not logical to blow yourself up.
So was that sarcastic?
Yeah, that's why I want to know. I mean, it could be just a sign of respect.
No, like,
but it could also be a.
It's a big
like I
fuck
said,
you. No, it's
like
a big
I said during the
you.
episode, our culture doesn't have a hand symbol for "fuck you."
Like,
so
the only way he could make that any better if he went live long and prosper. Like, just say it that way.
I mean, he kind of did.
He basically did.
But what's up with like injecting this stuff into yourself to blow yourself up?
It was like a special space bomb.
Yeah, that's some
like
shit
some type
right
of like
there.
antimatter. Like that's the only thing I could possibly see that being a thing.
I don't know.
Crazy magic space bomb.
Yeah. I mean that's some next level suicide bomber shit.
Vulcans are passive aggressive. Yes, they are. I think that's why I enjoy them so much.
Probably.
I'm passive aggressive.
I'm a very passive aggressive.
You know what? Wait, I can actually if the bomb react to Vulcan blood, like maybe it's like a chemical thing, like magnesium to
plus
air.
green blood makes bomb.
Yeah, maybe. And so we get a lot of backstory, even more backstory on kind of Michael's upbringing and who she's around. We got a Spock drop.
We did, but you know we didn't hear anything about Cybok.
No, we did not.
No.
So that I'm really kind of interested to see if we hear anything about him, since Sarek is one of the pivotal characters in the series.
Right.
Because I mean, we know that he sent Cybok away, or Cybok like decided to leave Vulcan culture to go in the pursuit of a more emotion-filled life. So, being that there's a lot of stuff going on right now with that, it would be interesting just to see if we saw like a younger version of him somewhere along the line.
Maybe. I do find it interesting where it's like, you know, we have Spock and Michael, one half Vulcan, one half Vulcan, and then another who's a straight up adopted.
Yeah.
And
but I mean, in Vulcan culture, apparently they don't consider half Vulcans to be Vulcan.
Yeah, no.
Which is racist. Star Trek.
That's racist.
Racist as shit.
I mean, if that's who the Vulcans are, then that's who the Vulcans are.
And then that Vulcan kung fu though, that was kind of cool.
Although, like talking with a lot of people though, just in general, it seems that if you're half something, the people of the culture that you're half of are always, no, you're not this.
No, it is. And I, as a I can vouch for that. As a biracial person, it is it's weird because like I'm half white and half black. I'm never white enough to be white, and I'm never black enough to be black, depending on who I'm around.
Yeah.
And race, like the racism aside, we also have a lot of, you know, Michael getting kicked out of this memory thing, which is called the Contra.
Yes,
which is
not the video game.
Not the video game. And this is new to the Star Trek universe.
Up, down, left, right, A, B, start did not help her at all.
but this did essentially, this is new for the race in general, right? With this weird...
Yeah, this weird mind
we've
meld.
never seen this. I mean, we did see in Next Generation with Sarek, I think it was Sarek, that there was the episode where he was his mental state was slowly decaying, and he started affecting everyone on the ship.
Yes.
I don't. Was that Sarek or was that someone else?
No, I think it was Sarek.
I don't remember.
Well, we've got this new power that connects them to what was, I guess, explained as the consciousness of the universe.
And they can connect it to each other.
Yeah,
he basically fed her his life force.
Which Stamets basically went apeshit over.
Right, because that was when the school that she was at was bombed.
Yeah.
He fed her some of his life force in order to help save her because it has healing powers.
Yeah.
And in doing so, they're now
connected,
quantumly entangled or something.
The Unimind.
Well, no, it would be interesting if they actually bring quantum, science into this. That'd be so cool.
Yeah, I mean, if it's from a scientific basis that quantum entanglement is really the only possible, not the only possible explanation for that, but it's the best scientific explanation for that is that when he gave her some of his life energy, it quantumly entangled their subconscious or whatever.
Right. And
Don Juan just helped us out. It was Sarek. He gave his Cantar to Picard.
That's right. Yes.
Thank you.
And so now this doesn't really push. These memories, these Vulcan things, really don't push the narrative or the plot any. But it's basically good to know kind of a little bit more of the origin story between Michael and Sarek and the relationship, and we get to see, I guess, her mom.
It's world building. Which this is the first time that we saw her mom as well. Which in the JJ movies, it was Winona Ryder. And in this universe, it's now Mia Kirshner. Who recently, I believe she was in Defiance on Sci-Fi. Mm-hmm. She was Julie Benz's sister, ran the brothel there.
Yeah.
And I know her as Jake Weiler's sister from Not Another Teen Movie.
Lovely. Okay.
I saw that movie one time because Good Charlotte was in it.
So good. So good.
So, I want to kind of move on a little bit more because we got a lot to cover.
Keep going.
The Admiral. What a weird...
Dude, there are so many conflicts of interest in that relationship, and I am absolutely fascinated by it.
Well, so I'm assuming that at some point in time, they were probably both at the same level.
Yes, but she is now his therapist, his commanding officer, and also his fuck buddy.
Wait, I missed that. She's a counselor?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't.
She's like the psychiatrist.
Yeah, no, she's there. They were during that scene when they were talking about his feelings.
Right.
She basically started therapizing, whatever. And he said, this doesn't count because you don't actually practice anymore.
Oh. Okay.
And she said something to the effect of well, you were my patient at one point, blah, blah,
right.
blah, blah,
that's,
blah.
yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. There are so many conflicts of interest in this relationship. It's wild.
Head shrinking.
Yes.
And so we have these three different relationships to Lorca, and it's kind of interesting because this is the first...
She's his wife? What? Boy Blue just commented that. She's his wife.
Oh, really?
No. I think he's saying that because...
I get it. The joke.
Therapist,
person in charge.
And really quick, Don Juan, Stranger Things does come back on Friday, and on our sister channel, that hashtag show, we are planning on doing an after show sometime the week after on that. So if you like what we do here, check out that hashtag show on YouTube as well. There's a lot of stuff going on over there too.
Okay, stop plugging. We got more to talk about. So
plugging's my life.
Plug.
So this person is the first three-dimensional relationship we have with Lorca. How do you I know we've talked a little bit, but how do you feel about that?
I feel like we're getting to know Lorca a lot better now. He's becoming a more fleshed out character. We know a little bit more about not necessarily his motives, but what makes him tick, where his mind is at. And
he seemed shady to me before. I don't see shady so much as I see self-serving. He just he's gonna do what he thinks is right, basically regardless of what other people think. Because at the end of the episode, we 100% see him use her logic against her because it serves his purpose.
Right. Well, and that kind of all goes around to after they got out of bed.
Yeah.
She had woken up. She saw the scars on his back, and
which we still don't know what that is.
We don't know what's going on there.
We don't know what those scars are from. But she touches them, and he flips out and pulls a phaser on her.
I just thought that was an interesting way to start round two.
I mean,
well, in the real world, yes. The thing is, that is...
I do know people that respond that way to being woken up in the middle of the night.
Oh, yeah,
well, okay, that type of response is something that comes from people who have just really deep PTSD.
Right, well, but she made a comment about him keeping a phaser under his pillow.
Yes.
And then at the end of the episode, we see him with the phaser in the back of his pants.
Yeah.
But there was seemingly no reason for him to be carrying the phaser like that.
Jarrett brought up something that we all caught on to. He said, where did the sax music come from?
We were just talking about that.
That was a
Riker throwback.
Uh-huh.
Like, that's the only thing I could think of.
Yeah, it was a great TNG throwback.
Which is why we talked about the holodeck here at the beginning of the show. But, here's the biggest takeaway that I got from their scenes together is she's the only person that can make him feel vulnerable. Yes. And with her being the biggest weakness, she's also his biggest threat, and he realizes
that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
I will say, and I said this when we were off air, is that scene between them, though, I feel like it gave a little traction to the mirror Lorca theory. Because she blatantly said, you're a different person now, blah, blah, blah. You never used to act like this,
I don't know.
Yada, yada, yada.
If I'm going to buy into Ash Tyler being a Klingon, I don't know that.
Yeah, no, it's got to be one or the other. It's one or the other. There's no way it's both.
I can't. My brain will explode if it happens to be that he's from the mirror. If we're in the mirror universe and
we've got the Klingon, there's no way both of those are going to fly.
Or if he's just from the mirror universe and the other guy's a Klingon. That's just way too much.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, and the thing is...
Bye, Cat.
Bye, Cat.
Later. And so, like, dealing with all these, pretty much all these feelings that he has in the play, like love, fear, well, maybe not... I don't know if love might be a thing, but maybe passion. Okay.
Affection.
Okay, we got affection, we have threatening, we have basically going to his core, like, don't take this shit from me, it's the only thing I've got. And that does play true more than we think, because he already has lost 2 ships. You know, this might be like his last.
Well, and that's also he lost 2 ships and killed the entire crew of one of them.
Yes. And so,
what did they say? 830 something. There was a lot of people.
Yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot of people.
And
I'm not gonna give a number because we've gotten shit for that before.
Right. Yeah.
And here's the thing. He specifically pisses off the Federation. A lot. Like, he got his ass chewed out for a good 10 minutes this episode alone from the person who loves and Sykes and everything else.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, we talked about eugenics tonight between
Stamets and the Spores.
And, you know, got yelled at for the mutineer going out with her own vessel with a guy that he doesn't even know. Like, she bases it the reality. It's like, are you fucking kidding? You let a mutineer and a guy you don't know take a shuttle to go save this guy.
Out of your fucking mind.
It's a valid argument.
It's a valid argument.
Yeah, she's got a point.
I know it.
I mean, not so much with the Michael Burnham thing, because, I mean, as outside observers, we completely know what was going on with her and what she was thinking. So we can see, okay, yeah, she's not so bad. But the guy that he has no idea, completely.
You know, the thing is, there, as far as I can tell, is really only a few people who are grounded in actual reality, talking about actual space and actual things, and that's this admiral.
The admiral's one of them.
I don't know. Do we even get a name out of her?
I think we got it last episode, and I just don't remember
what it is.
So we have this admiral. We have Tilly, who I find as kind of the millennial
you got
voice.
her name right.
Yeah, yes. Yeah, but Tilly is definitely the every person.
Yeah, like if I was on a ship, that's how I'd react. That's how I see her. And then Paul. Can't remember. Saru.
Yeah.
So you have these.
I don't know. Saru. But Saru is kind of like he had a big arc in last week's episode. Yes. I wasn't here to talk about that, but
well, he wasn't even shown this episode. I think.
He was on camera. He didn't do anything.
He had a little more than a cameo. We already talked about it.
Yeah. But yeah. Let's see. He went from being that guy who was like, "What are you guys doing? This is fucking insane." To I kind of see what you guys are doing. I'm gonna go a little insane. No, you guys were fucking insane. I'm back to normal again. Yeah. So he's one of those weird characters. But going back to like the eugenics thing for a minute, like Stamets, like he was like
he's for science.
Like and I love how excited he got about the mind link.
He didn't suck this episode.
But Lorca was, you know, he pointed it out, which was like a whole thing. Like, oh well, you know, after you deal with the mushrooms, you're You're cool now? What's going on?
Like, it was just so weird, because usually when we see Stamets, he's usually this whiny, pissy, sassy person, and today he's like, oh, well, this is fucking cool.
Yeah.
Like, it was such a turnaround.
I think it's because something changed for him. Like, he accomplished his goal in the last episode, and was like, shit, all right, let's do some fucking science now.
That and because of the foreshadowing from the end of that episode, he's kind of weird-ish.
Yeah, he's just a little different.
He's a little off. We don't know what it is yet, but we might find out in the next episode, which we'll talk a little bit about a little bit later. I'm still on Lorca. The final thing with him is the Admiral gets captured by Klingons in a rather throwaway scene. It felt like a scene.
What a setup that was.
And they also redshirted more people this episode, which again, classic Trek, and I was excited. But
how crazy is it that Sarek was injured in an accident that was caused by the Vulcans, these renegade Vulcans wanting to take him out, that saved him from going to this
Klingon ship,
where he would have been taken hostage by the Klingons. Mm-hmm. So, he got lucky.
He got super lucky, and man, I didn't want to say I saw this coming, and I still don't want to say it, but I'm like, the way I saw the setup, the only thing that threw me off is like, oh, there are these other creatures, which, what the fuck were those things again? Weird light bulby looking characters. Yeah. And you're like, okay, there's a third alien race here. I don't think anything's going. They set me up.
So the third alien race were supposed to be the intermediaries.
Yeah.
So they were meeting on neutral ground, the Federation and the Klingons, with whatever that race was. I can't remember their name.
Yeah, to talk about things.
Just talk things out.
But that's it. If it's on neutral ground, Klingons, I feel like...
These Klingons give no fucks in this series, okay? They give no fucks.
Even in this series where they give no fucks, I still find it kind of an asshole move. Just a little bit.
They don't give a fuck.
Like, I'm actually surprised they didn't kill the intermediary aliens to save face.
I feel like these are the harshest Klingons that we've seen.
No, they didn't kill the intermediary aliens.
Dude, they ate Georgiou's face, okay? These are some harsh-ass Klingons.
Wait, so I completely missed that then. Which were the ones that they cut down? Were those,
they cut down...
Starfleet officers.
I thought they cut down the
Admiral was there with two other Starfleet officers and made us...
See,
I thought they knocked off everyone.
It would have made sense, because then there's no witnesses, and then they can make whatever story they want.
Unless they made a deal with those other aliens.
Yeah. Well, even...
Or threaten the other aliens.
Maybe threaten. I feel like threaten's probably the more accurate term. And so... now we have this admiral who's captured.
Yes.
Not dead, but probably going to get tortured. And the thing is, now that Lorca's main adversary, call it in bunny ears, adversary is captured, he's like, well, hold on, we don't need to rush right in there right away.
Well, he's like, she was just giving me shit for not going to Starfleet.
Yeah, our comments are blowing up.
I should go to Starfleet, right?
Our comments are blowing up about it, and I don't think that he was happy she was captured. I'll say that 100%. I do not think that that's an outcome that he wanted. That being said, he will use this to his advantage.
Well, no, it's definitely a rock and a hard place. Are they going to go after her? Probably.
Starfleet is definitely going to tell him eventually to go after her and save her.
But at the same time, he's also...
But it buys him time, because she's going to basically say, like, he's unfit to captain. So.
Yeah. So it's basically buying him some time to come up with
a plan if he comes in and saves her... Then
will she still report that he's unfit
got
to
something
captain?
to hold over her head. Capital H, they did kill a third party. They were dead already.
Were they? What?
There was some weird holography stuff going on in the
scene.
I admittedly remember saying I didn't look.
That one Klingon with the
red stuff on his face.
The Darth Maul tattoos on his face. It was a hologram.
Okay. So, final thoughts about Lorca before we move on to the next thingies.
I'm excited to see where he goes next.
Yeah, I'm liking his character now.
Yeah.
This episode really made me like his character.
It made me more sympathetic to his character.
Yeah.
Finding the first three-dimensional aspect of his character is super important, especially if he's going to be a good guy, but also a gray guy, but also a bad guy in the same. He's such a dynamic character now, and because now we always he's big bad guy.
Yeah.
Eventually. Like
we've thought he's creepy since episode 1.
But now it seems a little less like that. Well, actually, a lot less like that. Where it's now, he's obviously fucked in the head, but at the same time, like I want.
He's got issues.
He's damaged goods.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
at first it was like, oh,
him.
he's up to something, and now it's like,
oh,
all right,
he needs a hug.
Yeah.
And yeah, I want to know where where the dynamics go with particularly the Federation itself.
Yeah,
that's the big thing. Like at this point, I don't see him. I see him more protecting his crew than not necessarily using them for his own ends, but using.
Yeah, no, he's just kind of renegade-y.
Yeah,
yeah, you know? he's very renegade-y, and at some point in time,
roguish.
Yeah. You know, not so much Firefly, but a lot. But like, there's a thing that's going to happen between him and the Federation that's going to put the rest of the crew at risk. I do see that coming up next.
Boy Blue makes another point. Winners get a pass. If he achieves what the Federation wants him to achieve, they might be like,
yeah,
slap on the wrist.
Yeah,
like,
you should not have done that.
Don't do it again.
I like Boy Blue. He needs to be in the chat more often.
Yes, welcome. Also, welcome to everyone who is new. I know there's some people that I haven't seen in the chat before.
Chad's on fire tonight, and I quite enjoy it.
Yeah. I'm glad all of you guys are here. It definitely gives us a lot more to discuss.
Indeed. I do want to talk a little bit about the next episode because I saw a lot going on there. It looks like we're finally going to get a time movement episode.
I'm really excited about this.
I'm excited about it. Because like most of the time travel episodes of Star Trek I've liked. I'm kind of getting sick of it with the movies.
Yes,
a little
the
bit.
Movies are playing it.
Whoa! Generations was big. I mean,
Generations was good, but then Generations was fine. That wasn't really time travel though. First Contact was really good, but then we got time travel in the JJ movie, and now they're talking about in Star Trek 4 that we're gonna get time travel again.
Yeah, so
it's becoming.
What if this isn't Mirror Universe? What if this is Q? Q. I want it.
I don't think they're gonna bring Q.
I want it.
Q is too goofy to be in the series.
Yeah,
I don't think it's here. Enough said.
She's goofy, but not in the Q goofy kind of way.
It doesn't have to. Well, no, that particular Q is goofy. The rest of them could not be. We don't know.
Maybe I don't know. Like
they could make Q a serious thing.
Interesting. Like I was talking with the guys from the Kamen Rider show about this earlier because I saw there's a Stargate Universe comic up on the shelf over there.
Ooh.
Which I guess is continuing the series after it ended after 2 seasons. But in Stargate Universe, a lot of people gave that show a lot of flack for the same reasons that Stargate Discovery Star Trek Discovery is because Universe was taking a lot of cues from like Battlestar Galactica. It was a much more serious series, whereas Stargate SG-1, after it moved from Showtime to Sci-Fi, and Stargate Atlantis, they were campy. They were fun. They were fun shows. It was like Supernatural. You know, they were like
they were fun.
Yeah,
Farscape.
Yeah. You know, there were serious moments, but overall, it was like, haha, look what we did there.
Yeah.
And Stargate Universe was not that. So like when I saw in Stargate Universe the characters from Stargate SG-1 and Stargate Atlantis showing up and being all serious, I was like, oh, this is different. And I kind of feel like that's the same thing here, is like if Q showed up here and like, I mean, they could do a different take on Q, I guess.
They will. They should, not they will.
Yeah, but if like he was like his goofy like mariachi band like Q, that would not
it'd be different. Yeah, it wouldn't.
No, it'd be totally different, but imagine how entertaining it would be.
I don't know.
So weird.
Okay, so from what we can tell from the next episode, we have these 30. It's a 30-minute
time loop.
A 30. I thought it was 30.
No, it's a 30 minute. It's a
30-minute time loop where they have to kind of unfuck it. Otherwise, they just
was it Stamets who yelled it? Yeah. It was so dramatic. We're stuck in a 30-minute time loop. Yeah.
So my question is, like, if you're stuck in a time loop, you'd have no clue that you're stuck in a time loop because, you know.
Well, that's not true. Like we've seen time loops in Star Trek before, and every time, like by the 700th time they've gone through the time loop, someone is like,
"Where's the time loop?
Something weird's going on."
It happens in Groundhog Day. It even happened in, and I'm sure no one else saw this movie, Happy Death Day.
I haven't seen it yet. I want to see that. I want to see
on my to watch list.
Because there's always that one person, for whatever scientific reason, can sense that something.
It was very entertaining. I'm not going to say it was a good movie, but I will say it was very entertaining.
Yeah. So So
Guinan could come back. That would be very good point on one.
That would be so awesome. Please bring back Whoopi.
Yeah, I mean, she looks quite a bit older now, but I'm sure
Whoopi gives a
but also with the budget they have on the series, they could easily do some sort
the thing is,
de-aging.
Even though they don't even have to age her, just make her literally a different character altogether. That happens all the time in Star Trek. As far as what I think is happening next, I don't think it's going to be a mirror universe. Not yet.
Not yet.
Yeah, not yet. I know we know that
it will happen.
We know it's coming. We don't know when, but yeah, I don't think it's going to be in the same episode. I'm going to say we're not going to see the mirror universe until we get back from the winter break.
You think?
That's my guess.
I would say all the way. I would say season 2 maybe.
No,
we know we're getting the season.
It's been confirmed by Frakes.
Yeah. We're going to see it. Yeah.
Okay, I'm not sure if he directed that episode, but Frakes did confirm.
Well, then here's what's probably going to end up happening. I would say the last episode before we go on the break, it's going to be the mirror universe to
I don't think so, because they originally the break was supposed to be a week earlier than it is.
Yeah.
So it's not like there's a mid-season cliffhanger.
It's just a break.
It's just a break.
Okay.
Unless that's the reason that they decide to make that the last episode. Which is possible.
So I want to talk about the last thing of the night, which would be Michael, because we haven't really talked about her at all yet, even though this is a Michael-heavy episode. First off, she became... she's now a bridge member.
Woo, woo, woo!
Michael is now a bridge member. It only took...
4 episodes.
No, this is episode 6. 6 episodes.
Well, but she didn't get on their ship until...
Right.
Yeah.
So it's the starting of a new arc for her. She's now making decisions on the Discovery, and I guarantee you that's going to freak the Federation out like you wouldn't believe.
No, it's gonna
yeah.
You're on the bridge?
They're going to be pissed.
I'm interested to see how Saru reacts to it.
Yeah, Saru is going to be really like,
but
this
see,
bitch comes again.
Because they had like that huge
They did have that moment.
They had that moment where it was like, okay, I get you now. So... he's either going to be good for you or he's going to flip his shit.
Yeah.
I think he's going to flip his shit. I think the Federation's going to bring someone in who's not the Admiral. Like it just compounded all the shit on top of the other shit.
I don't know,
like
because
shit sandwich.
The Federation has allowed him to have Michael on a ship. Like the Federation is giving Lorca a lot of leeway.
Well, that's it.
So.
Are they giving him a lot of leeway though? Because the Admiral's about to come down on his ass. So.
That's it. Being part of the crew is one thing. Being part of the
bridge is a completely different
being part
thing.
of the leadership, fuck you. There's no way the Federation's gonna let him do that. At least not right away.
It's already happened.
She's not necessarily making like critical decisions as far as the ship goes. She's making
She's a science specialist on a science vessel. It doesn't get any more leadershipy than that for a ship like that.
I mean, for the science stuff, but I don't know how she's going to play into like senior officer type.
Well, that's just it. We're now going into the next episode, which is about time dilation, and now she's the science specialist. Yeah. It's going to be a huge episode next week. It's going to be a gigantic, massive episode next week. Things are going to happen that are just going to blow our fucking minds. And we're going to meet some more people on the bridge. I think some new characters.
Yeah, probably, cool. Yeah. I mean, we'll probably get a little bit more out of the woman with the implants on Cyberface.
Yeah, from the first ship.
Yeah.
She's hot.
Yeah, and Jared, I completely agree. Like from the beginning, from the episode where we saw that she lost her rank and that she was arrested.
Yeah, we had to come back around.
Yeah. That was, I don't want to say obvious, but I think most people probably figured somewhere in the back of their head that was going to happen.
Well, yeah, no. The thing is, there's no way we can keep the main character of the show just on the ship in a non-leadership position. It wasn't going to happen. Like, it was just a matter of when. And the thing is, we knew the tardigrade thing was going to end too, so it had to pick up somewhere else. And this actually makes the most logical sense. But now we get to see her back in action. I think in such a way that we only saw her in the first 2 episodes, and that's really exciting. But
I mean, we know that Stamets likes her now too, because he's like, oh shit, science.
Right.
Well,
you can science the things.
He respects her in such a way that does that, but again, we got to see what happens to him, which I think this is going to be an episode focused on both her and him.
Yeah, I think Stamets is going to get a lot of screen time next week.
Yeah.
Also, speaking of cool things going to happen next week, Mudd is back.
Mudd is back.
Yes.
I did not think they'd bring him back.
I didn't think it was going to be so
really
soon. I knew he was coming back, but I did not think it was going to be so soon.
They said surprise, bitches.
Yeah, well, I know he's in a number of episodes this season.
Yeah.
So he's going to be around for a while. But yeah, I'm excited to see him because again, I wasn't on the show last week, but I still watched the episode with you guys, and he was great.
So good.
So I know we kind of got a little off track. We're talking Michael still. I want to talk about her in this episode, not so much next episode, but that's going to be big. So this episode, we have her dealing with her father figure. Not her father, but her father figure. And
she did call him Dad at the end of the episode.
Yeah. She did say, what's
Maybe
up,
feel all
Daddy?
warm and fuzzy.
Yeah. Like, and so this is kind of where the interpersonal connections between human and Klingon get kind of...
Human and Vulcan.
Oh yeah, human and Vulcan. My bad. A little, I guess, meta. Like
yeah.
We see emotions from Vulcans. We see logic from humans, and we get this kind of touching thing where it's like she's always thought that she's the failure. She's the one who didn't become what she thought she was gonna be, what her parents thought she was gonna be, and then we find out it's a reverse, that they sent Spock to this like an academy.
Yeah, the Vulcan
Science Academy. That was, we actually saw that in the JJ movie. The first JJ, when Spock was like, I decline.
Yeah,
he was like basically, fuck you guys.
Yeah, and so like, man, what a wasted opportunity that became, right? Like now that we see a missing piece of the puzzle, basically that connects the JJ universe.
Yeah.
Where it's like Spock says, "Go fuck yourself," but like, why not just be like, okay, we'll take Michael then. Like, wow.
Well, by then it was probably too late.
It was probably way too late because
she had probably
Spock
moved
hadn't
on
started
already.
School yet, so. It was definitely going to be at least a couple of years.
Because remember, he said years later when Spock declined, so she was probably already training under Georgiou.
Right. So we have her father on the ship at this point. Do you think he's going to stay around very long?
I mean, I hope we get more Sarek because I really like the actor and I think he's doing a great job as being Sarek.
I think he'll be around.
Yeah, I think he's going to be in and out of this season. I don't necessarily think he will stick around for 7 episodes.
He'll be not a recurring guest.
That was the word I was looking for, and it wouldn't come into my head.
Yeah, no, I don't think he'll stick around for next episode. If
he was still in the science.
He was recovering.
Not in the science, but in the sick bay.
So I guess it depends on how long the next episode, or how much time has passed between this episode and the next episode.
Yeah, I mean,
30 minutes.
Because they are, like we said in the beginning, they are rocking episodics, basically, with 5 minutes of, hey, here's some stuff for you, for the main thing.
Well, what's going on here? Like
I'm trying to glance at it.
Yeah, I see like a debate
There's a debate about betazoids
being able to read minds.
I'm not entirely
I'm trying
sure.
to glance at it as we do this, and it's
So Stress-Free K says Sarek made the right choice because he saw how racist his fellow Vulcans are.
That's my favorite gif ever. That kid,
Oh yeah.
And the thing is, they actually that memory it was like compromisable racism, which is a weird thing to say. They're like, we don't mind that they're exactly not Vulcan, but you can only bring one. It's like, that's almost racist. That's almost
right. You're kind of racist.
It's racist, but it's
I want to be offended, but I can't qualify this.
It's either way, regardless of whether it's racist or not, it's still a dick move.
Oh, it's still a shit
it's
to do.
Total dick move. Yeah. It's like, we don't like outsiders, but we'll take one. Like,
right.
Okay.
Because it's only logical, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, that was the logical thing for Vulcan racism.
Yeah.
And the thing is, you can't even get mad about that kind of racism.
Yes, you can.
I mean, you can, but like it's a logical racism, and it's like
no, it's not logical racism. It's if you're a racist, that's the logical thing to do.
Yes.
Right. That's what I mean to say, and it's just like you want to be. I want to be mad about it. And
like if I was a murderer. The logical thing would be, not to get caught.
Right. So, like, okay, Don Juan says, I don't care. I don't think Vulcans care what color you are. They just don't like humans. Like a racist. Yeah. They're a race.
I think.
Oh,
fucking dad over here.
Or specious.
Specious. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Specious is something else.
I'm down to crack like 3 dad jokes every episode of this. It's gonna happen. Oh man. So okay.
Boy Blue said, "Is it saying it to your face logical?" And I missed a word in that, and I was like, "Is your face logical?"
Well, all I have to say about saying it to your is saying it to your face logical based on what's going on in this country right now.
Yeah.
Depends on who you are.
So let's wrap it up. What do you think is going to happen kind of down the line? Just a quick
down the line?
Quick down the line.
I have no clue now. All these different theories have rocked my world.
Right, like now actually being kind of like 75% on board with the Ash, Tyler being a Klingon thing.
Low-key Klingon.
Like that's just like fried my what's gonna happen.
I got nothing. I got nothing.
And the thing is, now that we have Michael as this in a certain level of command, we have the Klingons capturing the Admiral. Like we were kind of on a headline of kind of what to expect until just now. I have no freaking clue what's going to happen next, and that excites the shit out of me.
Yeah, well, because like, I think for me what's exciting is the fact that we are out of that. I mean, we know that more shit's going to happen with Klingon War.
Yeah.
Obviously, stuff's going to happen there, but as far as what's going to happen on the show as a whole,
I think the first couple of episodes felt predictable in a certain way, and I think there are certain things they had to do.
Right, because we knew where those were coming, because it felt very not episodic.
Very serialized.
Serialized.
There were certain things that they set up that had to be done for what they set up.
And now that we're getting into a more episodic nature, it's like I'm like,
who knows? Who knows?
I would say it's this exact episode now that ends the pilot feel. You know?
Yes. Now it's like we're in a series of its own.
If you were the kind of guy who's like, I'll watch maybe. This next episode is the moment you're going to watch.
But see, at the same time, I kind of feel bad now for CBS because we are 6 episodes in, or 5 weeks into it.
Yeah.
So anyone who had like the free trial,
they're so stuck.
If they didn't stay until now,
like they're missing out on some great shit, man.
Right, because
just
like if they were
stuff.
like, and let it drop, then they're not seeing what's going on now. Where I feel like if they had stayed that extra week.
This is the good stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness. Okay, so, Jordan, where can we find you?
You can find me at Lambertra, LAMBERTRAA, on Instagram, Twitter, and my own website.
You can find me at the Goldman on Twitter. I've got an Instagram, but I don't really use it. Facebook, I try and hide myself from most people, but you can find me in these Star Trek fan groups posting every time we're going to go live. And you can find me behind the camera on that hashtag show doing whatever it is that we do over there.
You can find me at SlammySammyLock on the Twitters, on Instagram. You can find me at Steam Bunny Productions, where I do comedy things sometimes on the YouTubes. You can find me at Sammy Lock at the Facebook. You can find me doing hashtag stuff when Achievement Unlock comes back off of the brief hiatus. You can find me doing Mondays and Wednesdays for the Twitch, for hashtag show on Twitch TV. I'm going to be doing Fortnite Monday, so don't miss it.
I got that game, but I haven't really played it much yet.
It's pretty good.
I've been stuck in Cuphead, and now I think I'm going to get the South Park game.
It's free, so
the South Park game.
I got to pick up the South Park game.
If you like Power Rangers.
And what?
Are you still plugging yourself? Because I have to do another plug.
Oh, I gotta do one more plug. This freaking show.
Yeah.
You're gonna find all 3 of us. Well, him on and off, but the 3 of us.
I'll be here fairly regularly.
Yeah.
We're gonna be doing the Riker maneuver here every Sunday, talking about Star Wars stuff, talking to you guys.
Star Trek.
Star Trek.
Sam, can you do the Riker maneuver?
I can do the Riker maneuver, but I don't have enough room to do the maneuver.
We're really close to the wall.
Yes, we are really close. Well, I'll try and fix that next week.
We're gonna start talking. We're gonna be talking Star Trek here every week with you guys and talking about theories and everything else. And you'll hear it first because we're doing it first.
And let me plug some stuff too. Actually, you plug first.
Yeah, okay.
Mine's gonna go on for a little while.
If you like Power Rangers, make sure that you check out Kamen Rider here on this channel.
Yeah, Kamen Rider is another Sentai show, so it's not exactly Power Rangers, but it's got the same feel.
Yeah.
Let me just...
sorry, Don wants Stranger Things. That's going to be on that hashtag show. If you go to youtube.com/that hashtag show TV.
I've been trying to not do that for the past hour.
You'll be able to find it there.
That was that hashtag show.
That hashtag show TV.
Is that everything?
Is that it?
Yeah, that was the only thing.
Okay, so now, sorry, I got.
He's got to plug everything.
Well, there's a couple things I got to talk about. So, if you like the stuff that we're doing here, we recently did a soft relaunch of this channel. So we've got a bunch of new shows. Right now, the only 2 that we have are Kamen Rider and the Riker Maneuver. We are looking for another show to do when Star Trek goes on hiatus. Right now, it's looking like it's going to be a general sci-fi show where we're just talking about everything that's going on in sci-fi. But if you guys have a specific show that you want us to do, let me know, and I'll see what I can do to get that out there. Also, if you like regular Power Ranger stuff, that hashtag show is the place to be. And there was something else I needed to plug. I don't remember what it was now. But I'll come back.
In general.
I'll just in general, yeah.
Anyway, so thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe, share this with your friends, share this with your family.
Like the button.
Like it, comment down below, and we'll actually talk to you through the week
Thank
about
you,
the things that
H.
you guys are going to talk
Westworld.
about.
I'm fighting for Westworld. I am.
Yes, we do need Westworld. And so, just keep talking to us down in the chats. We'll definitely answer you throughout the week. Like, subscribe, tell your friends. Thank you guys for watching what we do on the Riker Maneuver, and continue following us here on Pop Culture Renegades.
Renegades. Out. And now it's awkward while I try and turn us off.
Yeah.
Womp, 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 womp.
We're still here.
Well, what's the Benny Hill thing?
And later, guys.
But later.